Welcome everybody to another episode of our comprehensive training series called SEP Knowledge Booster. For this video I have the pleasure to hand over to you today's presenter Klaus, who will talk about the next hot topic with the SEP Sesam backup software. 3, 2, 1, launch!
Yes, hello everybody. I have the pleasure to show and explain to you today in this session how you can do a cool backup of a Proxmox environment. Now, what is Proxmox all about? If we look at Proxmox, it's an Austrian company, small company with a small and lean, reliable and easy to use hypervisor. These are the benefits of using Proxmox in your environment. It's based on Debian and QEMU, but it definitely has a growing market share. We see this in the talks with our customers, and it also supports cluster environment. This is very cool, and also it has a virtual appliance and supports Linux containers. So but what are the benefits if you do a Proxmox backup with SEP? Of course, it's our agent. We have our Proxmox agent using the Proxmox API for doing the online snapshots of the virtual machines. And we have our web UI, and with this web UI it's fairly easy and comfortable to do a restore of a Proxmox virtual machine. And, which is pretty cool, I guess, we also support the Linux containers if this configuration is used with our agent for backup. Yeah, and overall the product, our SEP Sesam backup software, it's very flexible. It has lots of interfaces like a RESTful API and command line interface, so you can really customize it and integrate it in whatever management tool you have in your environment. We provide also our own wiki online documentation, very well structured and easy to read and containing all the informations you need how to configure a backup or restore with our Proxmox agent. Then we have our high quality support from Germany with very competent people for all the environment you have, no matter what application, what database, what operating system or hardware infrastructure you have. They have a pretty good experience and knowledge to help you in every case. Then we have a very flexible pricing by providing different license models as well, from SMB market up to enterprise market. Everything is possible. It's future proof because we have a really huge support matrix supporting all the possible agents, all the databases you might have in your environment or what might pop up in the future. It's already covered by SEP. Then it's a software made in Germany, which really helps to comply with all the regulations like GDPR and others, which is also a very hot topic currently. And last but not least, we have very satisfied customers who are not only using our backup software, but also the Proxmox agent to back up their Proxmox environment. And this is a reference case of a bakery in Austria. Well, it's a coincidence that it's an Austrian reference because Proxmox is also an Austrian vendor of hypervisor environments. And this bakery, it's a bakery chain in Austria. They not only have Proxmox, they have lots of different applications running in their heterogeneous environment, and they do the full backup with our backup software. Yeah, how do we do the Proxmox backup? And it's really straightforward. It's fairly easy. And first of all, to be prepared, you have to install the SEP client on each of the Proxmox nodes, on all the Proxmox hosts, and they have to communicate with each other. So they need to see each other and reach each other. So that's a matter of name resolution and DNS entries and so on. So as a first step, we look for the virtual machine on which host it is running, on which node. Then we trigger the snapshot via the API, and then we extract the snapshot, we retrieve it from the productive storage and write it directly to the backup target, no matter if it's disk or tape backup or whatever you have in your environment. And in the end, as a last step, of course, we remove the snapshot and free the space on the productive storage. Yeah, what are the facts and figures, the detailed features of doing a Proxmox backup with SEP? Of course, we use and we fully rely on the Proxmox API and vset dump commands. We support single node environments as well as clustered environments with several Proxmox nodes. We also back up the Proxmox resources, and we support the full backup of the virtual machine. We also the KVM or the Linux container-based virtualization, and if it's a Linux container based, then we also include this database into the backup. You can use the parallel streams of our software by creating a task group and then having several virtual machines in one task group and doing the backup in parallel. And then you have the option to use our software integrated deduplication algorithm to really reduce the amount of backup data which has to transport it over the wire, or maybe written to disk with our in-memory variable block length, very efficient software deduplication. If it comes to restore, I will show you in the live demonstration how the restore works with our web UI, and this is very impressive, I would say, because it's really a cool way of doing a restore of a virtual machine together with the configuration, or only the configuration of a virtual machine, into this new instances. And the instance names are generated by Proxmox. You will see this in the live demo, and if you have Proxmox already in your environment, you will know this, that Proxmox numbers all the virtual machine and creates the number as a name of the VM. Now we should start with a live demonstration, and I have already opened for you the graphical user interface. It looks pretty clean and everything in order. And well, how is it configured in our demo environment? We click on tasks and tasks by clients so that we see the tree structure, and it is according to our support matrix in our demo environment with all the databases, applications, operating systems. And here under virtualization you can see that we have a lot of supported hypervisors configured in our demo environment, and here we have our Proxmox environment. The Proxmox environment we have in our demo lab consists of 3 nodes, so it's a clustered environment. And if we have a look at how one of these nodes is configured, we click on properties, and then you can see it's a Linux host, our client package is installed, and the VM server type is Proxmox VE. That's important, that the backup server knows how to access this Proxmox node, and that the backup server is able to talk via the Proxmox API and has access to this node. It's necessary that we provide the right credentials on this tab. And well, that's how one of these nodes is configured. If you would like to configure backup task now for this node, then you click on new backup task, and there are some entry fields over here. You see, for example, the task type with all the supported agents of our powerful backup software, SEP Sesam. You do not have to enter any data in these fields. You can use our comfortable client browser. If you click on this little arrow, then you open the client browser. You see the directory structure on the management host on this Proxmox node, because there's a client, SEP client installed, and you have this entry point, Proxmox VE, which shows all the virtual machines. They are numbered. That's familiar to you if you use a Proxmox environment already. And if you scroll down, then you can see that the next free spot is over here. The 116, the 116 would be the next free spot, and this is important to know. If it comes to a restore, then Proxmox will take the next free spot and give this name to the newly created virtual machine. If you would like to set up a backup task, let's take the 101 for example, then okay, now you can see that's the backup task, and we will have some extension over here so I can identify this task later on with the KRI, and this is the source, the virtual machine, the node, and the task type Proxmox. So okay, and now let's open this list. Now we will have the backup task available over here. That's the 101 KRI. That's the backup task we have created for this virtual machine. If we start the backup, we can without a schedule, we can just say immediate start and run this backup task. Provide a media pool where to put the backup data. Let's take this media pool. This is via the catalyst on our store once, and then just say start. That's all you have to do. And now the backup runs for this virtual machine. We can see this in the job state backups, and as you can see over here, there's an active task, and this active task is for this virtual machine. And if we look on in properties, then there is the main log tab, and in the main log tab you can see what's going to happen during the backup. Currently you can see it's updated over here. Some data has been transferred, that's the throughput, it's updated, and so the backup is running, and you can track this over here if you would like to. Now during the backup is running, I would like to show you how to do a restore with our web UI for a Proxmox virtual machine. And now, well, I'm going to open a browser over here and just select the web UI that's over here. And here you can see all the possible options for doing hypervisor restore. We will select the Proxmox restore, click on next. Here you see the virtual machines which have a backup. That's the one I have done, I'm doing currently, and that's the one where we already have made some backups, the 102. So click on next, and here you can select one of these backup tasks, and you can select one of the older ones, going back in time a little bit. You can see that there are two save sets. The backup is consisting of two save sets. The first save set is smaller because it only contains the VM configuration, and the second one contains the virtual disk and having a little bit more of data. Now click on next, and well, here the message tells you that the name will be created automatically by the Proxmox system. That's the node we would like to back up to. Now click on next. Now here is an option if you would like to start the machine after restore, and here is the data store selection menu. We would like to use the local LVM data store for restore, and this is only the basic functionality. Always keep in mind that you can change the settings from basic to advanced, and then you have additional options. Normally I would say kind of expert options, because now you can select the media pool, for instance, if you would like to restore from tape migrated backup data, or if you would like to set some log level or pre and post scriptings and all this kind of export functionality. That's all available here, but we are going with a basic mode with the most common feature set. Now click on next. Here's an overview of all the options you have selected, and we are going to start the restore now. And every time you trigger a restore process will be started, and this is the process ID. And in our web UI you can really click on this process ID, then you see some parameters which are associated with this restore task, and you can show the log file in a browser tab. And I think that's a pretty cool functionality. If we scroll down, then you can see that the restore is already running with the throughput and the transfer data and so on. Click on refresh. Now you can see that there's even more currently running. Now let's go back to our backup task. Well, the backup task has already finished successfully. That's over here. And if you click on the restores, you can see, oh, the restore is already finished successful over here. Let's go back to the protocol, the log file. Yeah, it's completed successful. That's over here. However, let's try to search in this log file for the target ID. Hold on a second. The target, where's the target? Target. Here's the target VM ID, 116. That's what I told you before, that during a restore, Proxmox will find out the right spot and provides this name to the restored virtual machine. So I can close this tab. Here is the option dialog box, and here you can see that the restore task has completed successfully. And if we just click on task by clients and we do create a new backup task, the client browser once again with this little arrow, and here we have the Proxmox entry point, and now you can see that the 116 is existing now because that's our restored virtual machine, and everything went pretty successful. So I hope this live demonstration was very useful to you, and you have enjoyed working with SEP Sesam. Let's now come to the expert question. Did you know that our Proxmox backup is possible to do backups of configuration based on KVM, as well based on the Linux containers, LXC, and yeah, there are different options. The process is a little bit different. If it's based on KVM, the VM will be continuously running. It's not suspended or stopped. And if you do it from a container-based configuration, then the container is suspended to provide a consistent backup for the snapshot of the underlying storage. But both configurations are supported. This is very important, and I think that's kind of a unique selling point at the market currently. And because of this, I think that SEP is definitely the best solution for all customers running Proxmox as a hypervisor. So, Katrin, are you ready to take over?
Yes, of course. Hey, are you impressed of what you have heard until now? Then you might be interested in gaining more information about this powerful backup software. After our SEP specialist has talked a lot about a specific backup topic, during the next roundabout 4 minutes, I would like to give you a short overview of the general capabilities of SEP Sesam. I'm sure you will be impressed of what is really possible with this product. This is essentially based on 6 strategic columns. The first and most important topic is our huge support matrix. There is an agent available for almost every operating system, database, or application you can imagine. Market leaders as well as niche products, for example for mailing, Exchange or Copano. Even a lot of older versions are supported, because all old SEP clients are still compatible and usable with the latest SEP backup server, for example NetWare, or outdated Windows versions. The second strategic focus is our strong partnership with SAP. While being 2 German companies, we work together from SMB to enterprise, from Business One to S4HANA. SEP has the most complete set of certified agents for the SAP portfolio, including NetWeaver running on Oracle or MaxDB, Linux or Windows, HANA or ASE, known as Sybase. Moreover, SEP not only supports simple HANA backup via the backend interface, but also functionalities like multi-tenancy, housekeeping, scale up, scale out, HANA Studio integration, disaster recovery, and efficient performance by parallel HANA backend channels for backup and recovery. Third, we focus on our partnership with HPE. Besides the perfect fit with our SAP partnership, this means that we step by step integrate deeper into the HPE portfolio. We just released our HPE certified Catalyst integration, including Catalyst Copy and Cloud Bank Storage. More to come soon. As a fourth element, we are proud of our multi-hypervisor support. By supporting more than 8 hypervisors, we are a perfect fit into every virtual environment beyond VMware and Hyper-V, or in every multi-hypervisor infrastructure. Based on our Unix and Linux history, we have a strong focus on open source. This becomes apparent from our partnerships with Red Hat and SUSE, but also from the support matrix, where you can find agents for open source products like KVM, MariaDB, or Postgres. Last but not least, we see the market going cloud. With our Cloud Application Protection Service products, we help you to back up your Office 365, G Suite, Salesforce, or Microsoft Dynamics environment. With Office 365, we back up the full set of features like Exchange, SharePoint, OneDrive, public folders, and Teams. With SEP Sesam, it is possible to run completely in AWS, replicate to a public cloud via S3, or simply use Catalyst Cloud Bank Storage and let HPE Store Once do the replication work. All these topics are covered in separate videos. Therefore, we can proudly state that SEP Sesam is the most powerful backup software. Well, if you are now interested in knowing more about SEP, you can find detailed information about market, sales, product and company on our webpage. Profound technical information can be found in our large wiki online documentation. If there are any questions left, please do not hesitate to contact us via email to sales@sepsoftware.com. So, I'm pretty sure that I'll see you next time when you're back on Tube to boost your SEP knowledge again.